The copyright reform is a big, big issue because any musicians who are dealing with music piracy or filmmakers who are watching their DVDs get traded online and things like that, there's all sorts of reasons that we need copyright. But copyright law has a problem, which is that it only addresses copies, and there aren't any more copies. There are only originals. And that's the issue, is that you don't copy things anymore. You instantiate them from the core of whatever that has created them. We're able to capture elements of art and combine them together so that when they manifest, they look like a completed whole. This face doesn't exist, and the performance behind it was captured in a completely different city. And there are many different places where that same behavior is coming out in the digital world. We're talking all the time now about screens. People are really drifting towards the language of screens as opposed to television, film, internet, those things. They're trying to sort of abstract it. And the reason is because anything can come out of those screens. You know, the different forms. We're separating. People don't make television. They make video, and the video comes out in whatever screen is available at the time. Digital works are never really finished. It's all about the friction of how long it takes to change something, and once you've carved something in marble, there's a really, really difficult task of amending that project. It is literally set in stone. Nothing is ever set in stone in the digital space. There's always the ability to go back and to change things. And so what that changes in the mindset is the concept of versioning, and that what you're creating are versions of art, and you may be building upon some concrete original that you've designed, that you're now creating variations on that, you're improving upon it, you know, the times have affected the art so that now you have a different version. The faster things rise, the faster they fall, and you see some just incredible stats on things like Twitter, where the life of a tweet is, you know, less than a few hours old, and it's essentially dead. And the decay rate of media is becoming faster, and it's an interesting challenge for artists to think about the timeless work that they're creating and their career, and how, you know, whether or not they're focused on the thing that's getting them the attention right now, or whether they're looking at something that's got a really long, slow build, and whether or not that's possible anymore, because the digital world is speeding everything along to the speed of light. If you can keep your art in a digital form, there is no barrier to the distribution channels that you have before you. By concentrating on a niche that they're especially passionate about, you find much more success online, because it seems to be really well suited to these niches because of that distribution level lowering. People were always looking for scale. They were always looking, well, how can I reach every person in this city, as opposed to how can I reach enough people on this planet to sustain my work. What that's created is that we have this new version of value online, because we now can get anything we want at any time. We were never at a loss for scarcity in a few centuries ago. We had more than enough scarcity, and so now that we are in this abundant time of digital art, we've actually come to find that we crave some of this. I mean, this is an interesting space because these are, you can go to this place and you can visit this cathedral in that game, but you need to be a member of the game. Does it really exist? And also, is this experience duplicated? Because it's the experience of the building that I think is the art here. It's not the object in itself, it's the happening of the collective act of building it. You can see all these tiny black dots moving around very rapidly in the time lapse. This is the collective building of a cathedral.